What do you do when you're asking other family members to help you out with whatever task, responsibility you're involved, especially now when, because of the coronavirus, you're all together at home and you don't get cooperation? How do you deal with that? How do you cope with that? Is it something that happens at your household? This is Coffee Break with Ninita, daily guide of coping skills that gets us through by getting us strong. This has been a problem where a conflict or a fight develops because we ask from someone to help out, and for whatever reasons at that moment, what we are faced with is lack of motivation, lack of cooperation, participation. And usually what happens is we get angry, we get frustrated, and the tone of voice raises and we have a very ugly situation. Definitely it is not pleasant, especially now when we have less activities outside the house, so it might be increasing the times when we are arguing over lack of motivation or lack of cooperation with different household activities. It might be children not doing their homeworks, not attending the Zooms, the schooling that it is now online. It can be work-related when other members of the family are noisy, when we are trying to conduct business from home and we have tension and situation where there is no working together. How do we cope with that? How do we prevent that to result into a terrible situation of screaming and yelling and fighting? There are two things I want to point out here. It is the two reasons why fights take place. The one reason is the tone of voice that we talk or we react to. And the second is the task where we are not motivated. There are two elements here, two factors. The one we can control. The second we cannot. We can control how we are going to continue talking to others, despite the drama, the tension, the raising of the voice, and the lack of motivation. We can continue talking in a calm and collective way. And when we feel that we are unable to keep our composure, then we can remove ourselves in the form of going to the bathroom, going to have a glass of water, anything that will give us a chance to recover and reset if we're very upset at how we're being treated or perceived, and then return in the same calm and collective way. Like I said before, there are two variables, there are two factors. The tone of voice of how we talk to each other and the task or the activity that we are talking about. If we don't control our tone of voice, the activity that there's no motivation for the person we ask to conduct that activity, the lack of motivation and the stressful tone of voice often lead to disaster. Tone of voice influences very much the air we are in. And a lot of times we find less motivation and more fighting when the tone of voice is not calm that we use. It takes two to tango. I cannot control how the other person is going to talk to me. I can say, please don't talk to me like that, in a calm way. I can say, I don't like how you talk to me right now. I'm asking you whatever it is you want to ask, again in a calm way. Will that make the other person participate, get motivated, and do the work? But it will help along the way to bring more peace in those events when it is about doing homework or helping out with chores and activities. Again, the tone of voice helps. There's also another factor that helps the situation when there's no motivation about what needs to be done. And that is routines, patterns. If we are referring to activities that we need others to do daily, that is very easy. And please don't think, oh my God, every day I have to have that fight. Instead, I want you to think, as time goes on and as we do the same thing every day, we get closer to the time that this task, this responsibility, this activity will develop legs and start being done without that much prompting from us. So whenever we are faced with resistance and negative reactions from family members on doing certain tasks, just remember, what works to our advantage is our tone of voice, staying calm, loving, collected. And if those activities can be part of the daily routine, repetition, regular involvement in these activities helps the activities become more part of life, despite how much motivation there is. Like homework, like tidying the room, doing chores and other activities. When they are done regularly, daily, they become part of the day. What do we do when the whole day that activity is being put off and put off and put off? Well, for that problem, we're going to talk tomorrow. Until then, God bless you and stay well.